Hey everybody, welcome back. As you can tell by the shirt I'm wearing, my Fright Rags shirt, that there looks like, actually you could probably tell just from the title of this video, so I guess the shirt technically doesn't matter. But I am wearing it because there's some very exciting news that looks like the original Halloween, which this year does celebrate its 40th anniversary, is getting a 4K UHD release. So Barnes & Noble had posted a listing on their website for a 4K release of Halloween. Now, there weren't really any details on it. It just says it's from Lionsgate and that it's Halloween and that it's a 4K release. Now, what this is basically a lot of times retailers, when they get a list of upcoming releases even several months out, a lot of times they'll actually put sort of the basic information into the system with the UPC code and everything. And then they update it later once they get a lot more of the information on it. And sometimes that doesn't, it's kind of weird because a lot of times too, like, it's not like it's something you can just find in a search. Like, you can do a search and it may not necessarily bring it up. So, but it is in their system. And so I was trying to see, like, okay, now what is this? Is this the original 1978 Halloween? Is this the 2007 Rob Zombie remake? Is it some advance notice for the new one that comes out in October? It's like I wanted to kind of find out. And so I was looking around, and on Blu-ray.com, in the forums, there were a couple of people who actually posted a link to a listing on Blu-ray.com that actually does show the original 1978 Halloween is coming out in 4K UHD from Lionsgate on October 2nd. Obviously isn't 100% official until there's the actual press release, but the fact that this is actually in the system does mean that there is some sort of listing for it as a possible future release, and 2 months from now. And again, it makes sense because this is the 40th anniversary. Oh man, I can't believe 40th anniversary. Jeez. 40th anniversary of the original Halloween. And it's getting a 4K release because obviously Lionsgate now has the rights to the original kind of thing, because 4K releases are still expensive to do. The entire process to create a UHD release is very pricey, so smaller companies just right now cannot afford to do it. I'm guessing we're probably maybe one more year away before it's feasible for smaller companies to release 4K releases. But for a company like Lionsgate, which obviously has already put out 4K releases, now that they have the rights to it, they're obviously going ahead. Now, what this means, I don't know, because obviously there's been some worry about the color timing, because there have been multiple Blu-ray releases, and it seems like each one has a different color timing than the last. So I don't know which version we're going to get. I think the 35th anniversary is the one that a lot of us are pretty happy with. I know it's the one that Dean Cundy, I believe, oversaw the transfer of. It's the one that I think, for the most part, I think at least most people tend to agree that that kind of looks like, Halloween. So it'd be interesting to see how the transfer is. It'd be interesting to see what extras it'll have. Will it have anything new? Will it port over all the existing extras? A little too early to tell. I mean, I'll keep an eye out for any sort of release, official release update on it. To get a film like Halloween released in 4K is very exciting. And also a John Carpenter film, because we have Christine coming out in 4K. I want more John Carpenter. I want a lot in 4K, but I'm happy to get John Carpenter because not only is John Carpenter one of my favorite filmmakers, but aesthetically, I absolutely love his style and stuff, especially all of his early stuff with Dean Cundy. So, more of that in 4K. Now, hopefully I can get maybe Escape from New York in 4K one of these days. But very exciting news to get the original Halloween. And for those of you who are interested, Mondo is putting out the LP soundtracks, vinyl soundtracks to the first 5 Halloween films this Wednesday, which is the 25th, at noon Central. They're going on sale. Halloween 4 and Halloween 5 are going on sale. Now, to my knowledge, those aren't releases that'll have, like, 200 copies and then they're gone within like, 10 seconds, as tends to happen with a lot of Mondo stuff. I think these are actually like full. I mean, if they're limited, they're not like super short. So I think if you want one, you should be able to get one. There's also a bundle. If you get both 4 and 5 together, you get a free slipcase. And the slipcase looks pretty cool. That'll have enough room to fit all 5 soundtracks in if you're looking to get all 5 eventually. So 4 and 5 are coming out this week, and then in August, Halloween 3 comes out, and then September, Halloween 2, and then in October, which makes sense, the original Halloween soundtrack. And these are, to my knowledge, these are actually the original soundtracks. These aren't like new recordings of the soundtrack or anything. These are the original soundtrack albums, just, they're like remastered and stuff, and obviously newly pressed in vinyl. So if you're a vinyl collector and are interested in any of the Halloween soundtracks, at least 1 through 5, this is definitely a very cool release. So I just want to give you a heads up on that. And obviously, as soon as I get more information on the 4K release of Halloween, definitely let you know. That's a very, very cool pre-announcement. Obviously, it's not official yet, but it looks like it's pretty much close to official anyway. So I have some new subscribers. So I just want to say welcome. If you can, like the video, because likes do help the algorithm. If this is your first time watching, then by all means subscribe so you can come back and you can see more of me. I'm sure everybody wants. But let me know what you think about a 4K release of Halloween. And here's hoping we get more stuff down the line. Again, it's still an expensive format, so we're not going to get any of the independent labels just yet diving in. But here's hoping at least some of the studios right now can put out some more classic horror films specifically. Classic. It's weird kind of for me to say Halloween is classic, because it is a classic, but at the same time when I think classic, I'm thinking like Dracula, Frankenstein, and some of that stuff. But no, it's 40 years. Man, that's hard to believe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.